I joined the Marine Corps in 2005, just after graduating high school. I went in open contract, worked in supply for a while, and then I became a marksmanship instructor, and then later got attached to an infantry unit after that. My name is Mike McBroom. I'm the community organizer for Hard-Headed Veterans. I've been with Hard-Headed Veterans for around 2 years right now. So it was 2019 is when I started with the company. I actually already had tuition paid and everything to go to college. It was WyoTech. I was real big into painting cars and bodywork and all of that, like growing up. And then 9/11 happened when I was a sophomore in high school. And so after that happened, it kind of changed, what I wanted to do. And that was a big part of why I joined. No one in my family was in the military before that, so it was kind of a different, different thing for us, at least my generation and my parents. So something new and different. We grew up really sheltered here, so one of the reasons I joined the military was, after 9/11, we have this really pretty nice life here in the United States, and I think a lot of people take that for granted, especially younger kids. And so when I saw something like that actually happen, and Americans dying, live in my classroom, as a sophomore in high school, it changed everything for me. So I definitely felt like there's more to it than what I've been experienced, at least at this point, and I really wanted to go out there and do my. I'm married and I have 3 children, and so I have a wife, and then I have a 10-year-old son, 8-year-old daughter, and 2-year-old daughter. So they keep me quite busy on the days off between sports and family activities and all of that. So I was home on leave when I met my wife, and we just started talking, and then I brought her out for a Marine Corps ball one year in San Diego, and then started dating. And after I had gotten out and was home is when we started seriously dating, and then got married a year later and then started having kids. Transitioning to civilian life it wasn't too bad for me because I stayed pretty connected with friends and family back home. I definitely missed just all the great things about the military, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, just structure was really good. And so what I did when I got out of the military, I immediately went to college, and I was going to a university in Nevada. And I found that a little bit. I started playing rugby and found that a little bit with boys. They were struggling together and playing matches and fighting and all that good stuff. But that was probably the best thing I could do after that, and then I later got into law enforcement. While I was going to college, and I was playing rugby for the University of Nevada, Reno, and I took a job, and so I was doing all of this at once. I took a job with the state, with the Nevada Department of Corrections, and I started that in 2010, and I was with them for 9 years. I ran the academy for a little while as the lead firearms instructor for the state, so I'd travel around and do that, and kind of got to implement new policies and procedures. And I taught for Taser, OC. I got a lot of the less lethal stuff as well, so it was a great experience there. I ran the academy for just over 2 years. So one of the things I miss about military life is actually, as crazy as it sounds, is being in the field, sleeping under the stars and knowing what I'm going to wear to work every day. was always another pretty easy thing to get through each day. But I definitely miss it was all the struggle. You always, at the time you're doing it, it sucks, right? It's one of those things where you're struggling, it's not fun, you're out, it's cold, whatever else, but those always are the times I think you remember the most. And just laying around, telling stories, joking with all the boys, it was always probably the highlight of my time. I spent a lot of time up in Bridgeport, and those were the best. Suffer all day, hiking mountains, and then sleeping under the stars and just having a good time and joking. So I was teaching with a company. We were traveling around and doing courses, and a friend of mine had a helmet, and one of the guys I was teaching with, and that was the first time I saw it outside of, just I've seen it, on ads and different things like that before, but the first time I got to hold one, and I was like, this is pretty cool. And then the company actually, it was kind of a coincidence, but they reached out a few weeks later and ended up sending me a helmet. And that was the first time I actually owned one and started training with it and messing with it. It was just Kit, myself, and Clinton when we started. There was no, it was like trying to figure out how everything worked from, different parts of the country. And a big part of why I'm, helping out with the position that I am and doing is the community around it. Like just the different instructors out there, just everyday guys wanting to get better and train, attending different courses and learning from them. It's just more of the community that surrounds a company like this. And obviously working with all the guys here is always a blast every time we get together, so it's always a good time. But yeah, I would say my favorite part for sure is just the community that surrounds the company and the customers for sure. Just interacting with them daily and helping them solve problems, see that light bulb go off on the phone call or whatever else on how to get something fit right or anything like that is always a big joy for me. There's a lot of big things happening right now with the company, with manufacturing here in the U.S., coming out with a hard hat. I think the company itself is going to grow tremendously, and people are going to see really how good of a company and how quality of a company it is from every aspect, from the products to the employees. And so I think what's going to happen in 5 to 10 years is you're going to see this, just watching this thing grow and the expansion of it, with the production facility and everything else. And I think you're going to see a lot of people, looking to this company as their primary source for, good helmets.